Countless horrifying stories that are coming out of Ukraine, many of them involve children. The images that you are about to see are disturbing, I will warn you. But it's important for the world to see the faces of these children and to hear their stories. These are pictures taken at the Zaaparogia Regional Children's Hospital. Doctors allowing the British publication The Telegraph to publish them, saying that they hope the images will make a strong impression on the world about the horrors of war, particularly on its youngest victims. Joining me now to explain these photos in greater detail is one of the reporters on this story, investigative journalist Tánya Kózireva. Tánya, these are tough pictures to look at. These kids in the middle of this, the biggest victims of this. Can you tell us their stories? First, I'd like for you to tell us about Masha. And just to be clear, the headline on the story is Masha is 15, her body is broken, and Russians say she's a fake. Tell us about Masha.
So the whole scene that we witnessed, it was horrible and a nightmare. We entered this room, intensive care room of the regional Zaporizhia hospital, and there was 3 kids, and all of them, like 2 of them was not unconscious, and Masha was the only one who was reacting on what is going on. She could speak, but we decided not to disturb her, and we just saw this grim picture of very young and beautiful Ukrainian girl who is only 15 years old, but who already had her right knee amputated, her right leg, amputated about the knee, and her right hand is also shredded by the shrapnel that got into her. And Masha, I had to tell you, Masha is from Polohe. This is the small town near Zaporizhia, and it's a town where there is no military base and there is no military objects, and she just caught this shrapnel into her body while she was walking around her town with her mother. So mother covered her from this shrapnel, but as her grandmother told us this grim story, she told us that her mother covered her daughter, but when she woke up, she saw legs, and like this this very grim picture. And when we spoke to grandmother, to Masha's grandmother, she was crying. Valentina, she's like crushed, I think, forever, just because 2 dearest members of her family had this wound forever,